Hey guys, welcome to the webinar. Thanks for tuning in early. We're going to get started right at the top of the hour. So, just take this time to get settled in, do what you need to do. Hey guys, if you're just joining us, we're going to get started right at 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is about 2.5 minutes from now. So, use this time to get settled in, do whatever you need to do. All right, we'll give it one more minute and then we'll get started. Hey guys, we are going to get started in just a minute. First, I would ask if you could do something with me. For me, someone chatted in that they were just having some trouble hearing me with my audio. So if you can hear me okay, just send a question okay. I'm not sure if it's just uh, specific user or what? Okay, looks like most people can hear me just fine. To the customer who can't hear, we'll make sure to get a recording to you right away. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Engage Your Audience on Mobile. I'm your presenter. My name is Diranjanala Panani, and I'm a product marketing writer here at Bird Eye. So I just, write content on our blog that helps businesses like you be found and be chosen by customers. Anyway, let's take a look at our agenda for the day. So, five parts to this, excuse me, five parts to this webinar. First off, what does customer behavior look like in 2020? So this is just going to go over some trends and statistics around mobile usage and mobile search and things like that. Next, we'll talk about getting discovered on mobile search. This is how you can optimize your website and online presence to make sure that you can um, get discovered on people searching on their mobile devices. After that, we'll talk about how you can connect with customers on mobile. This is really just tips for getting started with text messaging. After that, we'll shift gears a little bit and talk a little bit about how our own platform can help you with some of these things. Last but not least, there will be a Q&A with the audience. So, if you don't think you could stick around till the end, um, just type in a question in the questions box. We'll be sure that someone in your team uh, gets back to you. Yeah, if at any point you just have a question about something that's in the deck or that I'm talking about, just ask a question. We'll try our best to get through each one. So let's go through the deck here. Let's get the ball rolling. Before we talk about specific strategies, let's take a step back and talk about some important consumer trends. So the iPhone released back in 2007, and it really changed our ways of life. I mean, 13 years later, mobile is dominant. There are 3.5 billion smartphone users worldwide. It's changed how we communicate, and it's changed how we find information. So average phone usage is estimated to be 3 hours and 15 minutes a day. Lots of people are spending a ton of time on their phones. I mean, we can debate whether it's a good thing or not, but it's true. That number, by the way, is higher with the youth demographic, as you might expect. Now, why does this matter? Well, you got to meet your customers where they are. And right now, they're on their phones. And one important thing that businesses need to adopt, text messaging. It's the preferred way for customers to communicate. I mean, customers use text messaging with their friends and family, and they want to be able to do the same with businesses, right? It's easy, it's convenient, and you can respond at your own availability. The fact is, it's just so much easier than both phone calls and emails. Phone calls, it's so easy to just reach voicemail. Email, same thing. So easy to just get lost in someone's inbox. Text, there's just a much higher chance that someone's going to respond. The problem is that businesses have just not caught up. You can see the stats here on the screen. 89% of people say they prefer text messaging to communicate with businesses, but only 49% of businesses are equipped to connect with businesses via text. And I mean, there's probably a good reason for this, right? Dealing with phone calls and emails is hard enough, so adding text message on top of that is, just complicates things. But there is a way to simplify text messaging. We'll go through that later in the webinar. Oh, now lots of customers are discovering businesses on the go. Maybe someone is at the bus stop and they realize they need a new dentist, so they look for a dental practice. Maybe they're on their lunch break and they're looking for a real estate agent on their phone. Whatever it is, customers are using mobile search to find businesses. You can see this illustrated really well in the rise of near me searches. That's when someone searches for something like dentists near me. Perfect example of customers looking for businesses on the go. Google hasn't released the official figures on this for a few years, but between 2015 and 2017, these near me searches went up by 500%. That's huge. I mean, we can assume with rising smartphone usage that that number has gone up even more since then. So let's talk a little bit about how you can get discovered on these mobile searches. Again, the volume of these mobile searches are exploding. So let's go through some tips here. First, we'll talk about how you can optimize your website for mobile. Then we'll go more into tips that are just about increasing your overall online presence. So first thing you want to do is make sure your site is mobile friendly. So all that means is that your site looks good on a mobile device. The customer doesn't want to have to scroll to the side, just to read the text on the screen. But that is unfortunately really common with a lot of mobile versions of business websites. You can see this stat here. If your site isn't mobile friendly, customers are gonna have to look elsewhere. I mean, I totally get it, right? If I'm on my mobile device, I come across a site that isn't mobile optimized, I'm just hitting the back button. I'm out of there. So Google recommends responsive design for mobile websites. What that means is that your page automatically adjusts based on the device that your customer or prospect is using. So if you're not sure how mobile friendly your business website is and you want to know, check out Google's mobile friendly test. I mean, to find this, you can just look up Google mobile friendly test in a Google search bar and you should be able to find it. I mean, great way to make sure your site is meeting uh, Google specifications. So if you're running pop-ups on your site, be careful, okay? That doesn't mean you can't run them, but they will hurt your search ranking if they interfere with the website visitor's mobile experience. The top right shows what you can do. I mean, you can see this first example here. Basically, if your customers can get around the pop-ups, you're fine. Um, Nothing to worry about. The problem is when they take up the whole screen. I mean, you could see this example here. It's kind of hard to get out of there. That will hurt you in terms of search ranking. So watch out for that. Now, if you know, chances are you probably have some text on your website. Would be kind of weird if you didn't. So here's a few tips to make sure that your content is optimized for mobile. First off, make sure the text is fairly big, so it's easy to read on a mobile device. 14px is what's recommended for that. Next, keep your paragraphs short, again, so it can fit in a mobile screen without somebody having to scroll down too much just to get through one paragraph. Then make sure the text contrasts with the background a good amount, right? Some people like their phone's brightness to be low, myself included. It helps to save battery. Um, well, if the contrast isn't good enough, it's going to be hard to read. So one thing that we recommend that can really help you with conversion for both mobile and desktop is installing a web chat widget. I mean, if you don't know what this is, you've probably seen it before. It's a little icon that often shows up on the bottom right side of business websites, and there'll be a message that's like, hey, if you have a question, just click here. Great way to make sure that the traffic that you're getting are turning into actual customers. So if you look to your screen on the right side, you'll see what a customer will see when they open up that web chat widget. They can put in their name, their phone number, and then leave a message. So there's a couple of ways you can handle this. If you can have a software that allows your customer service team to get in contact with these website visitors right away. If you don't have the resources for that, that's totally fine. You can also use chatbots, which allow you to give automated response to frequently asked questions. I mean, a chatbot, if somebody asks if, hey, are you open right now? The chatbot can respond to a query like that with your business's operating hours. And web chat really works. Okay, I mean, I'm just saying that because I was such a big doubter of chat for such a long time. You know, I didn't know if people actually used it, but we've seen small businesses using web chat get great results. I mean, it makes it so easy to reach out and just leave your name, your number, and whatever question that you have. So this is another big one for your mobile search ranking and your desktop search ranking as well, claiming your Google My Business profile. I mean, this might seem obvious to some of you, but studies have shown that the majority of businesses have not done this, right? This is a free tool offered by Google. When customers do a Google search, it's the first thing that they'll see on the right side of their screen. Whether that's in a mobile search or a desktop search. If you're not sure what it looks like, it's what you see on the right side of your screen there. Now, once you've claimed your profile, you can add some detailed information about your business, put in a business description, hours of operation, all of that. Makes it really easy for potential customers to discover you and get in contact with you. Now, why am I emphasizing this so much? Because Google sees this as the most important factor in your local search ranking. That means that without a Google My Business profile, it's going to be really hard for you to rank above your competitors in mobile search. So once you've claimed your profile and gotten that taken care of, make sure it's optimized, right? A few simple ways to do that in this slide. First of all, make sure your contact information is accurate. You know, if someone's really interested, you want to make sure they can give you a call or send you an email right away. Next, make sure that you have some pictures that make your business look appealing, right? A picture is worth 1,000 words, as they say. Make sure it's high definition, good lighting, all of that. Next, have a business description that is honest and upfront about the services that you offer. If it contains keywords about your services, like, I don't know, if you're a pizza restaurant and it says something about pizza, that can help you rank for relevant search queries as well. And last but not least, make sure that you have accurate business hours, especially now with all these changes in operations. Customers want to know that they're going to a store that's actually open. But you shouldn't stop at Google My Business. I mean, the more consistent your business's information is across the internet, the higher you're going to rank. So Google wants to give customers accurate information for every search query, right? So if I look up dental practices near me, Google wants to make sure that it's giving me accurate information. How can it ensure that the information they have is accurate? Well, they can cross-reference it across all these different listing sites. So, you know, if your information is consistent on, you know, Facebook, Yelp, and whatever other sites you want to be on, they'll be more likely to trust that your business information is accurate, and the more likely you are to rank higher in search results. So, you know, when it comes to business listings, start with the big ones: Facebook, Yelp, and then whatever industry specific sites that you have, you know, maybe Avo for lawyers, Angie's List for contractors, whichever one applies to you, whatever industry you might be in. Again, this will help you a lot when it comes to mobile search ranking. And last but not least, try collecting more reviews from customers, right? Google really values reviews when it comes to both mobile search and desktop search, right? Again, Google wants to show the best results from all their search queries. And if you have lots of great reviews, it helps prove that you're one of the best businesses in your area. So how do you collect more reviews? Send review requests via text messaging, maybe a short little note that says, hey, thanks so much for visiting us today. Please give us feedback by leaving us a review on Google or Facebook or whatever other site you want to collect reviews on. I mean, that makes the process really easy for the customer, right? Most customers understand the benefit that reviews provide for your business, so they'll be happy to do it. The problem is that, people are lazy, right? They don't want to look up your site on their own time. Just being able to send that on text so they can just click the link and leave a review leads to great results. And that brings us, it segues really well into our next segment, which is connecting with your existing customers. So we're going to talk about how you can use texting to get connected with the customers that you already have. So we covered this earlier, but I do want to reiterate this. Customers prefer text, right? The problem is phone calls and emails are oversaturated. Email inboxes are just so stuffed. I have more than 20,000. Yeah, I think it's 20,000 unread emails in my inbox. Not really sure how that happened. But, I've also had multiple occasions where I've sent an email to a business and didn't hear back. And your phone calls can be frustrating for both sides, right? You're often caught in this game where a customer calls you, they reach your voicemail, then you call them, you reach their voicemail. Not a fun experience for either side. Text can make this process so much easier, right? All someone has to do is text you. Chances are they have a lot better chance of getting a response. So texting is the new business essential. Again, customers use text to communicate with friends and family. They want to do the same with businesses. You can see these stats on the screen. 98% of text messages are read. I mean, that's compared to something like a 40 to 50% open rate with email. You saw the stat earlier, but I think it's amazing, so I put it up there again. 89% of customers prefer to interact with businesses via text. I mean, that's huge. And here's another one, big one. 1 in 3 customers have tried to text a business and haven't gotten a response. I mean, a lot of the time, if customers aren't able to reach you on their preferred channel, it's a frustrating experience for them, and they might just end up going somewhere else. So let's talk about how you can get started with text. So here's a couple of things you should know. First off, make sure to offer an opt-out within your text, some kind of ability to unsubscribe. Nobody wants to get spammed. And if for whatever reason someone isn't okay with you sending text, they can just hit that button and make sure it stops. Next, don't send too many texts. Sending a text every day to a customer is just too much. Even my mom doesn't text me that much. So recommended maximum is something like 4 to 5 texts a month. Next, part of a great customer experience is reaching your customers at moments that matter. So we talked about sending review requests before, but make sure you're sending them out on the same day as the purchase. That way you're fresh in the customer's mind. If you have a sale or an event coming up, be sure to reach your customers maybe the day before, maybe a week before, so you can get them involved as well and increase awareness for that. Next, be sure to send birthday messages. I mean, easy way to show that you care about your customers and to help to build an emotional connection with your brand. Now, texting is especially great for everything that's going on right now, right? We've seen businesses send mass texts out. Let's say they have a bunch of appointments coming up next week. They can send text to all those people and just say, hey, with everything's going on, we just want to let you know that, we have to cancel these appointments, but we can reschedule them or we can move them to online if you want to do that. Also, a great way to update your customers on your operations. If you've closed entirely, you can tell them and say, hey, we're expecting to be back, whenever you're expecting to be back. And, there's businesses out there who have shifted to do delivery. Texting is a great way to make sure that your customers know when that delivery is set to arrive. Like just, hey, we're about 30 minutes away. Great way for them to be prepared for that. So here's a few ways you can make texting more convenient for your customers. First off, if you're using some kind of a texting software, we recommend getting a platform that allows you to text from your landline number. Reason for that is, a customer is more likely to respond to you if it's a number that they recognize. I'll never pick up a call from an unknown number. The same concept applies to texting. Also, it really makes communication simpler from a customer's point of view. If you've been texting them from an employee's number and then they see a different number online, but they need to make a phone call for something urgent, it just leads to a lot of confusion. So next, try thinking up some response templates to help make communication easier for your team. Chances are that there are some common questions that you get from customers. Having some kind of template to respond to these can really make the job easier so they understand, what kind of brand voice that you want to use with your customers. So shifting gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about how you can manage all the different things that we've mentioned in this webinar in one platform, Birdeye. It's designed to help you not only rank higher on search, but also to get connected with some of your existing customers. So first off, two things that you can do in this platform. First off, our product automatically sends review requests to customers via text just on the same day as the sale. That means you don't have to worry about actually having to do this manually and having to send each one to your customers. Platform takes care of that for you. Then you can monitor your reviews from over 150 sites within your Birdeye dashboard. And next, listings. Again, that's something we covered when we were going over mobile search optimization. Birdeye offers you the ability to fix all of your listings on 60 plus sites with just a click of a button. No need to go to all these different sites and try to take care of each one manually. That can really be time consuming. Just a click and you're done. Next, Birdeye interactions. So a couple things you can do here. First off, you can set up website chat, right? So again, that's that little chat widget that you'll often see on the bottom right of your screen. So that means you can have your customer service team connect with website visitors the moment they have a question while they're right there on your website, or you can answer their questions automatically with our Birdeye chatbots. Again, if someone asks you something like, "Are you guys open? What's your address?" That chatbot can send a response with an automated, automated message. Next, be sure that you're managing and responding to text messages in one location. You can do that with the Birdeye inbox. All your conversations will be right there. You can send text to one customers or multiple at a time. Birdeye can integrate with your existing landline number, so you can text customers from a number that they recognize. So we're wrapping things up here, but here's 5 takeaways that I hope you can get from all this. First off, optimize your website for mobile. Again, try Google's mobile-friendly test. Super helpful, right? Next, claim your Google My Business profile. Okay, this is huge for getting discovered on search, both mobile and desktop. Number 3, start using WebChat to connect with customers. Great way to make it really easy for them to reach out. Number 4, start sending requests via text message. Make it short, make it simple, make it easy. Again, texts have a really high probability of being opened compared to email, and it just makes the process a lot simpler for the customer. And last but not least, integrate your landline. You can do this with BirdEye, or you can use another texting software, but we really recommend it. It's a great way to connect with your customers with a number that they recognize. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be sharing a recording of the webinar via email to everyone who registered. You can also email us at sales@birdeye.com if you're interested in the product, or in the questions box, you can just type in, "I'm interested." We'll have someone reach out to you. But other than that, it's time for the Q&A. If you have any questions on what we've discussed today, let me know and we'll try to get through as many as we can. Not seeing any questions yet. Give it a couple more minutes. Right, here's one. Someone asks, how can you claim your Google My Business profile if you haven't done it already? Well, let me go back. So just want to show this picture of the Google My Business profile. So yeah, I mean, here's what it looks like if you type in your business's name and the city that you're located in into Google search, you'll most of the time be able to find it. So there will be a button that says own this business question mark. You can click on that, and then that will take you into the claim flow. Most of the time what Google does is that they send a postcard to the address that they have on file to just confirm that you're the business owner. That usually takes 2 to 3 weeks. Once you get that postcard and you type in the code that they give you, you can verify your profile and make changes. So somebody asked, what does connecting a landline through BirdEye for text look like? Great question. So it's a pretty simple process. You you can do it really quickly with our support team. Basically, you just put in your number within the BirdEye platform. We'll send you a verification code. And once you get that code, you just type that into your BirdEye platform. It will take a couple of days to get that verified, but yeah, really simple process. There is a quick caveat here. We don't integrate with VoIP phones, at least a lot of the time. So if you don't know what a VoIP phone is, basically that's a phone that needs internet to work. Hope that answers your question. Yep, so if anyone else has any questions, please let me know. happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. Okay, I'll give it a couple more minutes. All right, well, looks like that's all the questions we have. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. We will be sending a recording of this with you shortly. And again, thank you so much. Bye now.